there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways.
Exactly. So the angels of the Lord, they're going to be in charge and making sure that we're protected. So that's a miracle. So miracles are going to be brought on the planet. They're going to be seen because miracles were already on the planet before our time. So it's going to come back again. Amongst the same men. Like for example, we read about what is it? Shadrach and Abednego, when he was tossed into the flames, and there was no flame that touched them. Even their garment was still clean. Their garment was still looked like they didn't even go in there. So that was a miracle that was wrought, that was worked out. So those miracles again are going to work out again on the earth. And by the way, this only happened to the children of Israel, and it's going to remain that way even into the latter end. Okay, and as a matter of fact, brother, if you can get me that verse, I think it's in the book of Daniel's.
Oh, what about the fire?
Yeah, I believe it's in the book of Daniel's, the 5th chapter, somewhere around in there. All kinds of things are gonna happen. I mean, you're gonna have brothers that are gonna be martyrs, but you're gonna have brothers that are gonna go through seeing miracles happen. They're gonna escape exactly what's gonna happen on this earth. Okay. Yeah, I haven't read that scripture in a while, man.
Woe songs, you know, like them.
Yeah, the destruction of Babylon.
Yeah, them kind of.
Like, I was thinking about Daniel 3. Yeah, it's right there. Come. It's verse. I think you could start from verse 15.
Right, Daniel 3 and 15 says, "Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made."
Yeah, so that was the edict given to the Assyrian king Belshazzar, and he said, "Look, the minute you hear this song, the minute you hear music playing of all sorts, okay, you worship that image." And this is what these men said. So we're going to read on. And they said it in a way of being nonchalant. Nonchalant.
It says, "Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands?"
Right, and who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands? So the thing about it is that I believe it was Belshazzar, right? Belshazzar. He looked at the two men and because I mean they knew that there was a higher power. Well, they believed that the higher power wasn't going to deal with them. But as we read in the account, the higher power was dealing with them, and it's declared. And we read this so that we can feel exalted. We can understand. So when when the time of our death is, when we see what is it, man? Man. You know, when we're having to meet death in the face. We'll be faithful because we'll revert back to the scriptures again. Okay? Go on, bro. That's why the scripture says, "Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time." Because we're going to revert back to these things and these wonders that were done to the ancient men. Go on, bro.
It says, verse 16, it says, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king."
You got to be the bit louder, bro.
So like, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said unto the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our power, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand."
And like I said, they said it with confidence. They said it with no doubt. Okay, and guess what happened? Right? Because sometimes, like, you could say something, right? And the minute after you get done saying that particular thing, it manifests. You know, they're going, bro.
Verse 18 But if not,
like before you came, brother, right? I told this brother, probably when I get back, he's gonna be here, and it happened.
Yeah.
You know, and I just said it out of nowhere, with no doubt whatsoever.
But if not, it be known unto thee, O King, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury.
Oh, Nebuchadnezzar, not Belshazzar, Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah.
And the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 1.7 times more than it wants to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the furnace of the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and they were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men and took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
So the
flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
So the fire actually slew the men, those mighty men. These were mighty men. So the fire took them out rather than Shadrach and Abednego. So that's showing you right there, like what it says in the book of Psalms 91. When the place come on the earth, it shall not come nigh thee. And we're actually going to see this play out.
Yeah.
So the same similar thing that happened to them is going to happen to us.
Yeah.
But on a different level. You know, because there's going to be different things happening.
Right.
These big guys.
And if I could just say as well, because they're men full of faith, man.
Yeah.
And we're going to see things along the way towards the end that's going to build up our faith even more and more.
Exactly.
So Lord willing, by that time comes, man.
Yeah.
Like the brother just said.
Say that again, Salakia. Say that again. I missed.
But you know, before that time comes,
you
know, we're going to see lots of all the prophecies coming to pass, and it's going to build up our faith even more and more.
Yeah.
So by the time that we want to get delivered out of it,
we'll already be we'll be juiced in faith.
We'll be ready for that, man.
Yeah.
Spiritually, we'll be ready for that.
Yeah.
Back in Daniel 3, it says, and these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire?
And see what you brothers gotta understand out there, man. See, we read this Bible, right? We read this Bible, but you gotta also consider that this is our culture. This is our historical account, and this is our culture. This is where we come from. This is who we are. This is not something that we came to the conclusion of and we're putting ourselves in the Bible. No, this is our book. Okay, that the so-called white man said we couldn't read during slavery. Because if we would have read the book, we would have probably went wild and killed and destroyed their asses. Well, praise to the Lord that this society gets destroyed. And that's why you had a guy by the name of during the 1800s. What was his name, man? What was his name? His name escapes me, man. Nat Turner. That's why you had Nat Turner. He was pretty much setting up Jakes out there to get out and kill Edomites, kill other Edomites. But at the end, he got killed. You know, but I believe he knew he found out that he was an Israelite. You see that? So that's why they didn't want us to read the Bible.
Just to make a point, them wicked Edomites have got parts of that brother in a museum somewhere, man. Like his flesh, man. That's how wicked these Edomites are.
Say that again. I missed that.
They got parts of his flesh in a museum.
Oh, right.
And his belongings as well, which they won't give to his ancestors.
Yeah.
Because they're wicked.
And like I was saying earlier before, because Esau studies great men amongst our nation, because they're looking for some kind of thing or specialty that we got, so they can understand and find out what it is that moves us to be moved by this Bible like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like how he was moved by the Bible and taught other and had the courage and the faith to do what he did. So they're trying to understand this, but they're not going to get the understanding of that because the Lord ain't dealing with them. So yeah, read on.
Yeah, it says
Yeah,
the Nebuchadnezzar
they're
the
just
king,
young girls, man. They're just young girls, man.
the Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast three men bound into the midst
Yeah,
of
so
the
they
fire?
were wondering, like, didn't we just throw these 3 men into the furnace of the fire? So they should be burned up right now. Like, what's going on there? Go on.
They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of the Most High.
Right. So so what they saw was a miracle, and they couldn't comprehend what the frick they were seeing. So like I said, these things are gonna come back into full to fruition, brothers. Okay, because we're those men coming back anyway. On top of that, give me the scripture in Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter. There's no new thing under the sun saying that it is new. It have already been of old times. So the old stuff that happened, the old miracles and things that happened prior before these times, it's gonna happen again.
Ecclesiastes,
And more so than now and never. Go on.
Ecclesiastes 1:9, it says, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done.
Exactly.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
There is no new thing under the sun, man. You know, you had wars back then, and you have wars now. You know, you had people that believed in the Lord back then, and you have those same people now. You had prophets back then, and you have them now. And what are prophets? Okay, we're not just some regular Negroes hanging out on the street corner just talking all day.
Yeah.
We have a duty, and this is our duty, which is this work. Go on.
It says, verse 10, is there any new thing whereof it may be said, see, this is new?
Yeah.
It hath been already of old time,
Yeah.
which was before us.
Exactly. So this is why it's good to read the history of things concerning this book, so that we can also be aware that these things are going to come in the future. Okay, because the passages are parallel to the future at times.
Just to finish it off, it says, there is no remembrance of former things.
Yeah, so we don't remember a lot of the things that happened in our past life, and that's why people don't believe in the things such as a past life. But we do, okay, because the scripture says it, and also there's certain people that have backed that. You got certain, you got people out there that have deja vus, and they'll go to a certain spot, and they'll feel like they've been there before. You know?
Yeah.
You even got kids that will talk about how they were once in World War II flying planes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, Edomite kids will say
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I've seen a lot of them things.
Yeah. So it definitely exists.
And Esau uses a lot of them when it comes to the what they call it. What they call the thing when they test your fingerprints and all that. Forensics, yeah, they use forensics, but they also use the
sequence.
on the left hand side they use their Egyptians, what do they call them?
What are you talking about? Psychology or you're talking about like
people that do witchcraft on the left hand side to find to look into reincarnation, things like that.
Psychics.
Yeah, psychics. They use psychics in their investigations.
Okay.
Yeah, and they sometimes, a lot of the time, they come 95% of the time they find the criminals. You know. Psychics. Yeah. If it's a very serious crime, like if someone was to do something against one of the top elites or something like that, or the Queen or something like that, they go into that.
Yeah, like I said, it's all on the left hand side. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people using things on the left hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this world works on the left hand side overall. Everything's on the left hand side. Everything's upside down a bit in this world, in this society. And that's why the Lord has to destroy it.
Right. Which a lot of even the Queen mentioned it in one of her talks 2016 about they're losing their power now. All of what they've been doing, the power comes on the left hand side. But she noticed in one of her speeches, which they had to kind of get rid of it. But she noticed that she said, there's some power now we ain't got control of. So when you put two and two together, you know, brothers were able to break it down. They know they're losing their power on the left hand side.
And you know too, and when you're dealing with the left-hand side of things, the Lord controls the left-hand side of things as well.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, you have spirits on the left-hand side and you have spirits on the right-hand side. And then you have Satan that came also in the midst of the sons of God, which are the spirits. And when you read Job, the 2nd chapter, it tells you on how Satan did the command of the Lord. So it's all, man, there's no getting away from the Lord, man. You can worship another entity or another spiritual entity that is perverse against that which is good. Slakia, that's contrary, okay, according to the ways of the Lord, but the Lord is dealing with that side too.
Yeah.
And really what the Lord is doing is the Lord is actually using Satan to deceive these jackasses of elites. Okay, by setting up this one world system, but as they're setting this one world system, they're doing everything according to prophecy. So they're idiots.
The wicked shall do wickedly, but none of the
Wicked shall understand, you see? The wicked shall do wickedly, but none of the wicked shall understand. Because they don't know what they're doing. Go on.
Just to finish it says here, there is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
Exactly. So the Lord didn't give us the ability to literally foresee the future. You know, certain brothers got certain visions and all that.
Yeah.
But it's not like all the way and out where you can clearly see everything else in vision. No. There's bits and pieces he's giving us. There's some, where was you at before? Yeah, go back to Daniel 3. And that's how you read this Bible. You got to go into this Bible and precept by precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
Yeah, right. Back in Daniel 3 and 26, it says, Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Power, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors being gathered together, saw these men upon whose bodies the fire had no power.
In other words, the men that was in high positions of that society at the time, they all saw this wonder. And they marveled of this miracle. And like I said, all of these elites, man, and this is why the scripture says that we're going to be able to go into the, what is it? We're gonna be able to shake the hand and enter into the gates of the nobles, because they're going to inquire of us and see exactly what kind of men that they're seeking out, pretty much, you know. Go on.
It says, Nor was an hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
Yeah, so there was no burnt mark on their garments. There was no smell of smoke. It was as if they didn't even go in the damn thing. So that's what you call a miracle.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it's one thing to be in the fire and untouched, but to have come out unsinged, no smell, like it wasn't even in the fire, shows the power of the Most High.
Exactly. Yep.
Verse 28 says, Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who have sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies that they might not serve nor worship any god except their own power.
And the powers that be at the time, which was the Assyrian Empire, they didn't realize that there was a true supreme power. So like I'm going to say again, so when the miracles are wrought, okay, of the men of the Lord,